What's up guys, Express here, back with another video. Now we have another tutorial, something different again. It's After Effects and Photoshop. We'll have to need those two programs to make, of course, something like this. I recently made this. I was thinking updating my stream overlay, and then I thought, why not make a stream overlay for a tutorial? So this is not my stream overlay. This will probably be free in the link description after this video hits 100 likes. I think this is really nice. It's just an infinity loop. So yeah, I think it looks really nice, really clean, really simple. The tutorial will probably be one of my longest tutorials yet, because you have to first make the project in Photoshop and then you have to go over in the After Effects. It is of course a couple of renders, or maybe one render. It's up to you really how much you want on your project. I would say just keep it with one. I think one clean one is always nice. Let's just start right away. The first thing that I did is of course have a nice background color. The color pattern that I want to take is maybe this kind of color, this kind of orangey or red color like that for the background. Could be a vibe, or we can go for something darker like this dark gray thing, also be a vibe. Above me you see all the shortcuts that I will use in this video. We have I've just placed my main render right here to the left side, because I want the text to be on the right side. I'm gonna make it a bit small with a Ctrl T, and on the right corner I'm dragging a bit more to the left. Then you can of course go and type your text. It's kind of overlay one, but I'll just stop starting again for the tutorial purpose. For this font that I've chosen in the preview, it's Hyperloop. We'll probably use the same one in this tutorial. And what I've done with the text is a simple gradient on top of it with a stroke, and then a bit of a 3D effect at the back. So how I did that is just double click the text layer. Then you have of course your layer style, go over to gradient overlay. I'm going to probably stick with this gradient. I think this is nice and orange tints. I'm going to reverse it and maybe have like a white on top. Let's see how that will look. Okay, I'll put that right there, and of course the scale a bit less. I don't know, do I like the white on top? Maybe not white, maybe something like that. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I'll just put a stroke on top of that. We could have a black stroke, or we could have of course an extra stroke of that like highlighted color of her hair. And then we can put that on the outside, or we can also put that in the inside, like so. I think that looks pretty nice. Very simple, but looks good enough. Then I duplicate it with the Ctrl J and pressed the double click the bottom layer, and I just went the color overlay and changed that to a darker color, something like that. And then I just went with my arrow keys to the bottom and to the right, like so. So you have a simple 3D effect, and probably remove the stroke, but it's up to you if you wanna Then I duplicated that again, clicked again on the bottom one, and then I went to color overlay again, put it on black, pressed OK, and then I moved that layer also a bit more to the bottom and to the right, maybe a bit more to the right. Now what you want to do with this text, you want to of course have it in a map, so later in After Effects everything will be easier to edit if you want to have that shine effect that I have in my preview. So I want to go over to the map and of course call that map text. This is going to be really handy if you name your layers for in After Effects. So yeah, I'm going to open that, and every single layer I'm going to rasterize the type and rasterize layer style, because if you want to do that like the line swipe, you have to do that, otherwise you won't see it. So I'm going to do that on the top layer. We'll do a duplicate of my main render. I'll make it bigger and I'll put it in the back like I did previous time. I'll do it right there. And what I'll do with that, I'll put a gradient map on top of that. What gradient that we'll choose is maybe the same one that we have for our text. We can do it. We can do something like this. Very simple, very easy. Also in the back I have some rectangles on the bottom, so I have one here that we can fill in with of course maybe the highlighted color of her hair. I'll backspace like so. Thing looks very nice. Okay, we go to our font, and of course we have this little arrow, or this, like we can put like this question mark with the same font, or this little slash. It's up to you what you want to put in, but this is just on my keyboard. I just typing random stuff. I don't know, it's up to you really what you like, but I kind of like this this arrow, but you can put circles or anything like that. It's up to you, but I'm going to stick with this arrow because I did that in my preview and I'm going to show you how I did it as well. So yeah, I've taken 3 main colors. So what we'll have of the main colors is probably this black, this orange kind of look, and then just white. I don't know, I'm not sure about those colors yet, but we'll see. So we have this, of course, this color, this main color. I'm going to make this one a bit bigger, and I'm going, of course, placing them around the project. I'm going to make some bigger, some smaller, and it's up to you really where you want to place them. And if you feel like they don't fit, just change them. I promise some you have to just see what looks nice and what doesn't look nice. So I'll put them everywhere, and then I'll be back for some more stuff that you want to add in the background. So I'll see you guys in a couple of seconds. So we're back. I placed some couple of randoms here and there, and I think it looks really nice. Also put some filter blur on some of them. You don't have to, it's just filter blur and then Gaussian blur. Put some more stuff in the back. I want some text, some more text, so I'm going to duplicate the starting text, and I'm going to move it around here, and I'm going to just make it really big like this. Now I'm going to press Ctrl T and turn that around like 90 degrees like so. I'm going to put that behind my main render. Okay, right by here. Going to double click that, or we can actually leave it like that. I think actually I kind of like the look of that. Also, like all the little triangles that you have, also put that in a little map called, of course, like try of triangles, and then close the text. And then I want, of course, some Japanese text because I'm a big fan of Japanese text, of course. So I have, of course, a lot of videos on Japanese text. You can check them out on my channel. Yeah, I have this font, and you just type things and it automatically changes to Japanese text. So yeah, like Japanese or more like Asian kind of text. I'll put them at white, and I'm going to make that real small, something like that, but I'm going to space it out like so, maybe a bit bigger like so. I'm going to put that on top of the text like I have in my preview. I'm going to put that right here like so, and I'm going to, of course, duplicate that text, double click on that. I'm going to, of course, make the spacing normal again, make it a bit bigger. By a bit I mean actually quite a lot, something like that. I'm going to make the spacing a bit closer to each other, maybe just on a 0. Okay, I'm going to move a couple of texts like that. I'm going to place that text behind my main text. I'm going to double click and change the color to maybe a darker black, or this kind of pink orange kind of look, or a darker black. Grey looks nice, grey looks nice. Okay, really nice. Going to duplicate that again. I'm going to put that on the bottom, but double click that, and of course remove the color fill opacity and the color overlay. I'm going to put that on a stroke, on a black color. The stroke I'm going to make it a bit thinner, and I'm going to put that on the left corner like so. There you go. I think that is the main look that we want to have. I don't know, I quite like that. I'm just going to have some color correction, some brightness and contrast, of course, and some brightness. Then of course some vibrance as well, some saturation and some vibrance. Okay, and then of course we could have some curves, no, levels. We could have some levels. Okay, put that bit there and put that a bit there. And then we can also go to hue and saturation, and you can always change the color. That's up to you really. Maybe I want to make it a bit more pinkish or a bit more orange. What if you make it a bit more pink? Take the brush and have like a couple of random dabs of black. Okay, what if you make it like a bit more, yeah, I kind of like that. So yeah, I think this is the final design for our stream overlay. I'm going to make the CCs in a little map and call them CC, so color correction. And now we're going to have to make some work of the main render, because I want her eyes to move and her hair like to move as well. We're going to, of course, cut everything out and colors from parts in. So what you want to do, of course, duplicate that and make sure the bottom one isn't visible. Then I'm going to put them in a little map. Okay, so what you want to do is take your pen tool and select this eye. You want to make sure it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just have to select the eye. There you go. And then make selection, okay, and then layer via cut. So we have that eye, okay, and then of course call that layer left eye, because that's easier in After Effects if you want to edit that later on. Okay, we're going to do the same with your right eye. And make selection, then select the marquee tool, right click, layer via cut. Okay, and now we're going to do her hair. So some parts that you want like to move her hair or something like that, like this will be easier than of course if you want to have like this part on top of her hair, if you want to move that. So let's go to her hair and of course select this area of her hair. This needs to be precise if you want to do this. You need to select very carefully, of course, this little strand of hair, and then the rest doesn't really care. And then we go to here and make a nice little bow, go back right there, and then select everything really nicely again. Okay, then right click, make a selection, go to the marquee tool, layer via cut, and we have cut out this strand of hair. Okay, via cut, and if you remove that, we have those strands of hair. And then of course I want maybe the main hair as well, so we're going to select that out as well. This also needs to be precise. Cut out, of course. Okay, I think we have the basics of the hair. I don't want to drag this out too much. And then of course, if you remove those, she doesn't have any hair. And what we'll do is we'll fill in everything with like a clone stamp or a brush, because if the hair moves, the part of that specific, if you move that hair out of its place, out of the PNG, you will see nothing, blackness, because the hair is moved from its original position. So we just want to fill it in with the original color, so if it moves you just see the original color of that character. So we'll do that with this as well. I'll do a content aware fill, and let's see how it fills in. Not that shabby actually, not that shabby. What if we deselect the hair a bit? And that's better. Okay, apply. Okay, there you go, and that's filled in. So now if we go back to our hair file, no, that's not the one. So now if you go back to our hair and we have this, okay, you can see it's a bit out of that. So we go to that content aware fill, and we're going to just brush out the sides a bit. Try to fill every single hole that you made with the original color, and then we'll probably move on. If you remove all the layers that we cut out, it is filled in to the most, it is just filled in, I don't know, it's fine. Hair, eyes, nose, mouth, everything is separated, all the triangles separated, text is fine. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to move over in After Effects. So what you want to do is just save this file as a PSD, somewhere that of course that you will remember once After Effects is opened. So yeah, you can close down Photoshop once it's saved. So of course, once you are in After Effects, make a new project, and of course go to your files where you saved your PSD file, and just drag, I'm just saying drag it in there. Whoop, in project, make sure it's all editable layer styles, press OK, and drag your file or like your project into the timeline. There you go, and you have the first thing that we're going to do is of course animate our character. It's going to be a bit difficult if you haven't used After Effects at all, but if you have used After Effects, it's going to not that hard part. So yeah, go to your character, double click on that, and there is where you do the magic. First let's do her eyes. So what we want to do with our eyes is just close down and open up again like normal eyes. We want that for, of course, a couple of seconds, and this project is going to be probably around 10 seconds long. So go to 10 seconds, drag this little one all the way to 10 seconds, and go back to your original stream overlay, go to 10 seconds and drag it all the way down there as well. It's 9 seconds and 20, it's almost 10 seconds, good enough. Okay, and then of course we're going to start with the left eye. What we're going to do with that is we are going to make sure it closes really nicely and open up again. What we want to do with the eye is go over to your pen tool in After Effects. You have the same thing in Photoshop, but here in After Effects, and you want to select the eye. It doesn't have to be perfect because we already cut out the eye in Photoshop. You want to select that. You have selected the area, and of course you want to be clicking on mask path. Go like a half a second forward in your project and click on this little one. And go move them down like so. Move them down as well like this, and if you go back you will look something like that. Zoom out a bit and go watch it from the beginning like this. It will look something like that. Okay, going to select the area, right click and easy E them so it's a bit smoother out in the end. Okay, and then of course we want to select the first one and move that over to 1 second, paste it in, and now zoom out again with the scroll wheel, go in the beginning of your timeline, press play, and then it will look something like that. Put them a bit closer to each other so it's just like a bit faster. And then we're going to do the same thing for the right eye. Of course we're going to select the area with the pen tool. Doesn't have to be perfect because we already selected the area with Photoshop. Going to mask again, click on mask path in the beginning of your timeline, move a couple of seconds forward, and then of course select a couple of seconds. Okay, right click all of them, select all of them, right click, easy E. So we have now of course done that. Now it looks a bit weird, so what we're going to do is duplicate my left eye, Ctrl C Ctrl V, open the little triangle, go to masks, and of course remove that what you just did because we don't want that. We still can use of course the first one. Okay, then of course we edit the first one that only the top of the eye is selected. So we're going to move the little dots like so, like the top of the eye is only selected, like the little eyelash is only selected like so. Okay, then we're going to go to a puppet warp, select the top of the eyelid, and then we're going to move a couple of frames like so, and then we're going to move them like so, like that, and then we're going to duplicate the beginning of our path and paste it right here as well. But then we have of course our puppet warp, and we go to effects, puppet, and then mesh, deform, and we have our 5 puppets. Select all of them by holding in shift and then open them, and then we're going to select the beginning dots and move them also to the back dots. Select all of them, right click and easy E them like so, and then we'll see how it will look at the end. There you go, it will look something like that. Pop pop. Oh, that's a bit wacky. Why at the opening the eye opened up first, so that means that it's the puppet warp that needs to be a bit faster. Okay, there you go. Okay, I messed it up. The puppet warp needs to be a bit faster. So now if you zoom out, the left eye will normally look like it should be. So I'm going to press play, and that's how it will look at the end. There you go. That looks nice. The left eye looks nice. The right eye still looks a bit dodgy, but it will look, yeah, it will look something like that. So yeah, okay. We're going to do the same thing, of course, with your right eye. So we're going to duplicate, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, the right eye. Open up the little mask, remove the first mask that of course we made, like so. First, let's select the top eyelid, or like so. Okay, then we're going to take the puppet warp, select the area like this, move a couple of seconds off, and then move them down like so. Okay, and then of course open up effects, puppet warp, mesh, deform, select all of them by holding shift, open them up, select the first one, duplicate them, go a couple of seconds forward, paste them, and there you go. It will look something like this. It looks kind of nice, not gonna lie. If you look at it from afar, it looks, I don't know, I'm kind of happy. And pop pop. It's a simple blink. It's like a slow blink that fits the character, in my opinion. Like whoop whoop. It does. It looks nice. It looks nice. Then of course that's only one blink in 1 second, and we have 10 seconds of footage. So we'll want to duplicate that eye again. It's going to be a pain in the ass if you want to select all those little dots that we just made. So I'm not going to do that. The thing is that I'm going to do is, we have our little eyes. We know it stops at 1 second, and then it doesn't go anymore. It's just our normal eyes. So what I want to do is, of course, cut them off at around maybe 2 seconds. Ooh, something like that, yeah. Right click, pre-compose, just call them eyes, press enter, Control Shift D, remove that one, remove the other one, then duplicate that layer, Control C, Control V, and move that over, right, so, then do that again, Control V, so Control V, okay, move that over right there, Control V, move that over a bit more, Control V, move that over right like so. Okay, and now we'll play it, and that's how it will look at the end. So blink once, couple of seconds waiting, blinks again, couple of seconds waiting, blinks again, second waiting, blinks again, second waiting, and blinks again, and that's the end. And now it's in an infinity loop. She just keeps on blinking, 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 blinking. So yeah, that's how I did it. I just copied the pre-composed, cut it a bit down, and then paste them all over the project. Then we have this hair piece as well. Go to the beginning of the timeline, select them with your puppet warp tool, and like so. Select the second one as well. Move, like, of course, now this time 5 seconds in, and move them, of course, how you want it. Character is officially done. I've animated her position, head, and eyes. So the hard part is done. And what we have for now is, if you just look at the completed version, the only thing that we have now is this. That's it. That's it, and that's just a loop. But yeah, now we'll just edit, move the background a bit, and yeah, that's going to be it. So yeah, we're going back in our project, and what we have, of course, is we still have the back render that we can easily puppet warp as well. So let's do that as well. Just click randomly, doesn't really have to be specific. I'm going to move her just in the middle as well, and just move her a bit as well, just to have some movement in the back. Doesn't really have to be specific, just some subtle movement like so. Okay, and that's going to be it. And then I'm going to back to the mesh, the form, select everything with shift, select all the beginning ones and move them at the end, and then select everything again, right click and easy E them. And yeah, and we just have some movement in the back. That's all I wanted, just some subtle movement, not too distracting, not too eye-catching. So yeah, I'm going to Control S this. I'm going to save this project because otherwise if I lose this I will not do this again. Then we go over to our little text behind it. We're just going to move the positioning, and so select the layer, press P for positioning, and then what we're going to do is, of course, beginning of our timeline again, press this little stopwatch, and we go in the middle of our timeline again. I'm going to make this 10 seconds like so, and then we're going to just move them maybe up and down or left and right, maybe left and right, so to the right, then copy the beginning, paste it at the end, select it, right click it and easy E them. So yeah, and then we'll have, of course, something like this, just some subtle movement in the back from the right and then to the left. It's subtle but I like it. And then what we can do also is we have our triangles. We'll move them in a bit, but we have the text in the back. We're also going to like press P for positioning, press this little stopwatch, maybe move 3 seconds this time, and just move that to the right a bit, and then move the beginning, put it right here, and then duplicate the ends like so. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know, right click, easy E them, but I'm going to move the end a bit closer. So yeah, you'll have some subtle movements in the back that just brings a bit more attention to the overall project. You know, it's nice, some movement, because she moves and then the project moves. It's just nice. But we'll just go first to the text, and we typing in effects and presets. We go type light sweep. We're going to select that and put that on top of that, and then you have this little light that is on top of your text. We want to maybe change that color to a bit more like a red color, something like that. Maybe make the intensity a bit bigger. Okay, so press so you have this little light. Okay, we're going to move it all the way to the left. Press this little stopwatch, go over to 10 seconds and move it all the way to the end. And if you press play, you will have a nice little light effect. So yeah, now we're going to animate the little triangles in the back. I'll show you one and I'll speed up the process, but you'll have to do the same with the rest. Okay, go to your starting Steam overlay and your triangles layer. You have all your triangles. Let's see which one we'll take. You take this little one, press P for position, beginning of the timeline again, press it once, go to the middle, and of course move it to whatever you want. Press the beginning one, little dot, copy that with Ctrl C and Ctrl V at the end. And that's it. You just move them left and right, or make them bigger, smaller, it's up to you. If you want to, I'll show you again, but this time not with positioning. Okay, of course select them and right click them for easy E, or press F9. So yeah, you want to do that for every single one, or not every single one, just a couple of them that move. You don't have to do all of them, maybe 10 or something like that. And yeah, I'll see you at the end of that. So yeah. I've moved a couple of them, not all of them, because I think if I move all of them it will be a bit of a mess, but I think I'm happy with this, just a couple of them. And yeah, we'll see how the project will look. We'll just enable my CCs and we'll see how this final, maybe final, we can just add, we can tweak a bit. Let's see. I don't know, it kind of looks nice. So yeah, this is the end result. I think I kind of like this. So the difficult part of this whole process is kind of moving the still image of your character. I fucked up just a tiny bit with her hair, but I mean, it could have been worse. It's smooth, you know. I think I kind of enjoy my other one a bit more, but I mean, in the end, it looks really nice. and I'm happy with the end result. So yeah, if you want, of course, use this, make sure this video has to have at least 100 likes, and then I'll probably release this one and the previous one for free to use on my store, just as a MP4. So yeah, if you want more Twitch overlays, or maybe a stinger as well, could be interesting, let me know down in the comments. If you want more of this kind of videos, if you want more in-fledged tutorial on how to move your character, let me know, because I'm still working on it and learning a lot in the process of this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more of this, let me know.